After my last video just a couple of days ago going over which teams you should still be investing in the Battle for Naboo raid to try and get some more rewards, I had an interesting comment in my comments section saying, hey, you should try and use this unit in your Darth Maul Sidious team. It really helps. I thought, that seems kind of interesting. Let's give it a go. This is the new team that I actually run for the Sith trio now. It works, weirdly enough. So yeah, I've got Plo Koon here, which I normally run in my Luminara team, and I have a replacement for Plo Koon and can still full auto that Lumi team at the 1.2 million tier. I also take R2-D2 in. The reason I take R2-D2 is because he does have a very minor benefit to this team, in being that he passes 10% crit chance to all his allies. As long as he's alive, we've got an extra 10% crit chance, quite useful in the early phases. If you can get that massively overpowered buff on him, he can take out an extra unit, and it just gives you a little bit of extra defense before your Plo inevitably maybe dies in those early stages. So I feel like I'm not costing myself anything, and I'm gaining a better advantage. Now the reason why Plo is useful is, it's a couple of reasons really. One is Quelling Blow. This will dispel on a basic, so if you are stuck behind droidicas, he can deal with it. It can deal with it. It can just get rid of that damage immunity immediately. Very, very useful. The take charge is okay. Getting defense up is quite useful. It reduces the damage that your team's taking. Quite nice. But also, we're going to be gaining some turn meter. 50% for him and 25% for all the other allies, which can be useful in getting back round to your turn again, so that you can start getting that kill chain going with Maul and Sidious. So quite useful. But there's also another benefit, and it's this last one here. This only applies to this tier at R7. Galactic Republic. Whenever an enemy critically hits a Jedi tank, that enemy is inflicted with a stack of damage over time for 1 turn, and all enemies are inflicted with Tenacity Down for 2 turns, which can't be evaded. Tenacity Down also can't be resisted. So basically, if they crit Plo at any point, the whole enemy team is getting Tenacity Down. Why is that useful? Well, it's kind of twofold really. One, the AoE from Maul. You won't really be using this to try and land daze on the enemy team, but landing daze on the enemy team is still very useful. Sidious is going to be gaining turn meter quite frequently, and if the enemy has got that charge modifier, or quick modifier, sorry, they're going to be gaining bonus turn meter when you gain bonus turn meter. That daze will actually stop that, which is, it does have a minor use. But more importantly, Darth Sidious's basic can inflict heal immunity, which is very useful, and his AoE can apply exposes and damage over times, and both of those are very, very useful to have on the enemy team. So having the opponent take Tenacity Down, almost guaranteeing all of these debuffs, does result in a higher level of consistency for the team. So before we start going through the run, I'm going to show you it in just 1 second. I will also show you what I did with my Lumi team. Lumi is very powerful. She doesn't even need a full squad, but I just threw in Eth Koth. I still full auto it. It's like, I'm quite happy with this change. It's a pretty good change. I'm not saying it's like earth-shatteringly different, but any level of additional consistency in this raid team is a win for me. If it saves me an extra run or two, I'll definitely take it. Let's check out the footage. So here we go. Things start off as normal, just as they always do. We're going to go ahead and put that expose out, or expose extortion out on the enemy team. I'm going to use R2-D2 to do some burning. It's going to do a little bit of damage. AoE over here from Sidious, AoE from Darth Maul. Killed 4 units 1 go, and immediately start cleaning up. I didn't want to pass turn meter, I didn't think it was worth it at this point, just thought we'd try and burn through our cooldowns a little bit and get to the next wave. Here, always, Droidica is your main priority. I increase his cooldowns, but he resisted it, which is important. See all that Tenacity Down? Amazing, we landed heal immunity straight away. Boom, 1-tapped with Maul. Absolutely brilliant. I'm loving Tenacity Down already at this point. They're constantly getting it, as you can see over here. Now, I wanted to take some focus away from Plo, because he does get very, very low hit points here. So I was like, oh, a little bit hairy here, a little bit hairy. Let's try to make sure that we keep Plo alive. We lose R2-D2, but we're actually okay here. All of those exposes landing thanks to those Tenacity Downs. AoE once again, boom, an extra 2 units had died, and extra dots. Wonderful. Going around into the 3rd phase, we're always going to be using that massively overpowered special from the fleet. So it's the first icon. I never remember the name of these. That first icon for the first wave is always the best one in my opinion. This is the least useful of the buffs, I feel. So we want to use it nice and early. Now, the good thing here is we've also got an extra unit thanks we've got Plo. Normally you're running 3 units. This time we've got 4 at this point, so Plo has got a massively overpowered to use, so we'll almost guarantee to defeat a unit. I'm spamming the AoEs because I want to try and increase the amount of crits that I'm landing to ramp Maul's offense nice and quickly, even though theoretically you might be better using it in the next wave when there are more units. Took out a unit with Plo using that second special. You notice there was days on the enemy team there, so they didn't gain as much turn meter as they normally would. Here we decide to AoE once again to try and speed things up, try to get through the wave before the enemy takes too many turns. Plo dispelling on that basic, not that useful here, but it's great if it happens to a Droideka. And we go around into wave 4, I believe. Once again, we want to try and increase the enemy's cooldowns. There we go, so Droideka can't roll up into damage immunity. Heal immunity lands because of all of that tenacity down. I love it. AoE coming out of Maul, booyah, got rid of one Droideka. And check it out, we can dispel the damage immunity on that Droideka. I love it. It's actually really, really useful. And then AoEs, all the exposes thanks to the tenacity down. It's a really, really useful mechanic, guys. I can 100% get behind this. Quickly getting rid of characters like Droideka there, and I get rid of the buffs because it's getting a little bit too overwhelming. Basics from Maul, giving them that 100% turn meter. Wonderful. Now they do have the charge mechanics, so they're going to be gaining bonus turn after every turn I take. But we're quite comfortable here being it. And see, all the extra dots as well really does help. We're able to go through into the next wave. There is no charge here, so I'm going to go ahead and use the second ability, the last one, that gives us that tenacity up. I want to save that Disrupt Communications one to destroy the little radar dish when they have charged. If they've got the bonus turn modifier, that's when you want to use it. Maul absolutely destroying face there, even with offense down. Whole team just disappears. It's great. We extort on the Droideka and then one tap him for the win. All that tenacity down once again. There's that heal immunity. There's that speed down. Wonderful stuff. Maul at this point has ramped up some real solid offense. Absolutely destroying people left and right. I do love to see it. Alright, so it's the last wave. I didn't even bother to check what their modifier was because we know we've got Disrupt Communications here. That's going to get rid of the enemy's commander modifier, so we don't even have to worry about it. It's great. Increase the cooldowns over here, and we'll pass the turn meter, I believe. Great. AoE and basic, and we can just basic every single unit now. They have no bonus turn meter, and they're all dazed, so we can actually just go basic, and Maul will take bonus turns every single time. This is a great way of burning through your cooldowns again before going into the next wave. Try to prep the enemy units with Sidious, so he attacks the guys with the highest health, Maul attacks the ones with the lowest health, so, you know, Sidious can basically bring them into one tap range for Maul. Wonderful, the enemy didn't really take any turns there, and we're into the final wave. The enemy has got the charge modifier, so they got bonus turns, but at this point, it doesn't even matter. Look, mass tenacity down, mass exposes, one big hit from Maul. It makes such a difference. I am fully in support of this, so thank you, whoever suggested that. I don't think it's, like, super, super reliable, but it's reliable enough for me, and I just wanted to share it with the rest of you, try to get everybody else on this train. I'll show you quickly the Luminara team so that you can have the comfort you're not missing out on anything. Here it is. I'm playing it on 2x speed so that we're not just going to sit here and watch it for 5 minutes, but full auto from the get-go, just straight up target down the units. That's all I'm doing. I'm doing full auto, but with targeted, or targeted full auto, I guess. So always targeting the characters like Droidekas and Staps, but other than that, it's completely hands-off. And Koth, I believe, doesn't even die, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So I'm just clicking on the Droidekas here, but look how quickly these guys roll through. He's even got damage immunity, and Qui-Gon Jinn goes in and dispels it immediately. So it's just a solid team. The changes that CG made to this raid are really, really beneficial, I feel. It saves so much time now, which is great. Once again, going around, Droidekas, target them down as soon as possible. After that, we can just go ahead and leave it go and play how it likes. Target the Staps to start the next wave, not even picking the abilities here, don't even care what it is. This wave is actually the most powerful for your Lumi team because they get that locked potency up and heal over time, which guarantees the true damage. Super, super easy. Super, super easy. All right, cool. And that's literally it, guys. What I'll do is on my Discord server, there's a link in the description down below. I'll have screen grabs of the modding that I use for these teams within my Battle for Naboo raid section. Feel free to go ahead, jump in there, copy them out, use them to your own extent and enjoy. I'm just trying to save you guys some heartache, some pain, some troubles. If this video is useful to you, make sure you hit that like button, baby, and I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.